On this vote, the ayes are 218, the nays are 211, with one answering present. The resolution is adopted.
On this vote, the yeas are 214 and the nays are 213. The motion is adopted.
Is anyone surprised that I am being targeted? Is anyone surprised that I am somehow deemed unworthy to speak about American foreign policy? Or that they see me as a powerful voice that needs to be silenced? Frankly, it is expected, because when you push power, power pushes back. Representation matters. Continuing to expand our ideas of who is American and who can partake in the American experiment is a good thing. I am an American who was sent here, by her constituents to represent them in Congress.
Did you catch that? Targeted. Silenced. The same script, different day. Welcome back. Today, we're breaking down the moment Ilhan Omar finally ran out of room to hide. For years, every time her rhetoric sparked outrage, she flipped the switch. Suddenly, it wasn't about what she said. It was about who she is. Identity over accountability. Narrative over facts. But here's the real question. When elected officials are held responsible for their own words, is that targeting or is that just consequences? The footage you're about to see draws a sharp line between political theater and constitutional responsibility. On one side, you've got Nicole Malliotakis and Lisa McClain, focused, direct, grounded in the standards of Congress. On the other, the familiar victim routine. Malliotakis doesn't mince words. Foreign policy isn't a sandbox for lawmakers who blur the moral line between America and terrorist groups. And when McClain fires back after being asked what the hell is wrong with her, she doesn't go low. She goes straight to the Constitution. This wasn't drama. It was overdue accountability. And today, we're breaking down exactly how Omar tried to spin her removal from the Foreign Affairs Committee into a persecution story, and why that spin is finally falling apart. Let's get into it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And to use that logic, well, then all those people should have just said sorry and we'd move on, right? But no, we don't do that. And let me tell you, I take a little bit of offense to what the hell is wrong with me. I'll tell you, there's nothing wrong with me. I took an oath to defend the Constitution, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Again, I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm going to hold the Constitution. And it's very simple. We really shouldn't even have this debate. If you break the law and you follow due process, there are consequences to your actions, even if you say sorry. So we can try all of the diversion tactics that we would like. It doesn't change the fact that someone broke the law and that someone should be held accountable. It is disappointing, Mr. Speaker, that their own party can't hold them accountable, that they have such hypocrisy. So with that, I yield 2 minutes to my friend from New York.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We've heard from my colleagues the reasons why the Representative Omar should be removed from this committee, but I feel like all the reasons have not just yet been stated, which is why I rise to add for the record. We've heard about the comments that were made regarding anti-Semitism and anti-Israeli views, but I rise to add to the record that as a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, I've sat there and heard the representative actually spew anti-American rhetoric as well. I've been in that committee room where the representative equates Israel and the United States to Hamas and the Taliban. Absolutely unacceptable for a member of that committee. I've also heard the representative equate that it is the United States' fault that there is turmoil in Venezuela. That is not because of the oppressive socialist and communism that has spread throughout Central and South America, in Venezuela at the hands of the Maduro and Hugo Chavez regimes. That is unacceptable. And as a New York representative, to hear the representative belittle, to try to diminish the worst terrorist attack on United States soil on September 11, 2001, as some people did something, that is unacceptable as well. And I hold the same standard for this side of the aisle that I do the other, because when another colleague on my side said something about 9/11, I also voted to have her removed from the Education Committee because I thought that was inappropriate. So I'm being consistent here, and I hope my colleagues will do the same to show that this is about consistency and accountability, because we should not have an individual with those views on the committee that is tasked with representing our country and our Congress to foreign nations. I yield back.
Where do we even begin with this one? Ilhan Omar steps to the podium holding up a childhood photo. A powerful image, sure. But here's the thing. Your origin story isn't a shield against scrutiny. America can respect your journey and still demand accountability for your words. When she says, when you push power, power pushes back. That's not profound. That's deflection. This wasn't power pushing back. This was Congress responding to rhetoric that crossed a line. Nicole Malliotakis laid out plainly. How do you serve on the Foreign Affairs Committee, the body overseeing America's most sensitive global relationships, while publicly equating the U.S. and Israel with Hamas and the Taliban? That's not edgy commentary. That's disqualifying. And yes, Malliotakis remembers 9/11, when Omar reduced it to, some people did something. Americans didn't forget. Words matter. Consistency matters. Malliotakis has voted against members of her own party when they crossed the line. That's integrity, not partisanship. Then comes Lisa McClain, leaning forward, calm but firm. After Omar mocked her with, "What the hell is wrong with her?" McClain didn't trade insults. She pointed to the Constitution. That's the difference. She also made the most important point of the day. Apologies don't erase actions. Ask Jamal Bowman after the fire alarm stunt. Ask anyone watching the 214 to 213 censure vote. One vote after an American citizen, Charlie Kirk, was smeared days after his assassination. One vote separating accountability from indifference. That should concern every voter. Here's the bottom line. You can't wave the banner of representation forever while dodging responsibility. At some point, the record speaks louder than the rhetoric. Malliotakis and McClain drew that line. The question now is simple. Was this persecution? Or was this the first real moment of accountability in Omar's career? Let me know in the comments.